Okay, I'm Zachary Siegel.
Isabella, go.
Isabella Russo.
Christy Tamaoka.
Hazel Ann Raimundo.
Hansel Tan.
Di Kwan.
Les Mao.
Karen Zenley.
Mike Bensinger.
Daphne Macy.
Jeremy Kirkendall.
Phil Nee.
Nikki Torsha. James Figarelli.
Daniel Lapsey.
Lil Ray.
And one other note, there is a family dialogue where in the actual film it will be done in Shanghai's between family members. That was the dialect that this all occurred in. It's based on a real event. For the purposes of the reading and for our viewers worldwide, it is going to be done in English today, but just assume that when the son and his mother are talking, it's in their native tongue, okay? All right, and here we go.
Oh, one more. Sorry. One quick thing is that you should have all gotten some feedback forms. So if you guys have a chance, you can write it anonymously, right? If you want on the feedback form. For both the pieces.
Everything's still missing.
Oh, I'm still missing one actor.
Yeah, we're missing Sean. Whoever this is.
We're missing Carmen.
She went to the bathroom.
Of course she did. So, welcome to... So this is fun. We're actually reading two pieces tonight. We're reading this piece first, and then we'll take a short break and let the actors, because we have a limited space, we'll let these actors clear out, and we'll let the actors involved in the second reading come and sit down. The Plains, which is by Alice Cox, and that's a very accomplished and adroit cast as well, which we're very excited about. And that piece will be reading about 30 to 40 minutes of a screenplay that's completed, but because we have two pieces up tonight, we're only reading a certain amount. Is Carmen back yet?
Hey,
Yes, she's back.
Characters.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
No, you know what? It's okay. Well, what you need to know is the main character is older Josephine. She is in a nursing home. She's been placed there by her son. And we'll just take it from there, okay? And here we go.
The Opposite of a Fairy Tale by Jennifer Baby Yan. Nursing home, hallway, day. Celeste, a black social worker, walks past an open door and sees older Josephine, Chinese, 80s, sitting in the dark, alone on a bed, holding a photo album. An easel with a beautiful painting of young Andrew is next to the bed. Celeste pauses, then knocks on the door jamb.
Hi there, I'm Celeste. Are you okay? Did your light bulb burn out?
Oh, no. I was just sitting in the dark like a silly old woman.
Nursing home, older Josephine's room, day. Celeste enters.
May I turn it on for you?
Older Josephine nods and Celeste turns on the light.
If you're not too busy, would you like to get a cup of tea with me in the dining hall?
Yes, I would.
Older Josephine gets up, eager to go. Nursing home, dining hall, day. Celeste and older Josephine sip cups of tea. Older Josephine still holds the album.
When did you move in here?
My son told me I had to. I am his mother, but now he tells me what to do. I always thought I would live with him when I was old. I bought him a big house so he would have lots of room, but now he and his wife don't want me anymore. I'm so troublesome. Just a frail, old, troublesome woman.
You don't seem troublesome to me.
I never thought I would be old in a place like this.
She quickly gets up.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I noticed you have some photos. Is that your family album?
Yes. Would you like to see?
I would love to.
Celeste looks at the photos. Begin montage. Black and white photos of a happy young girl growing up in Shanghai, China throughout the 1920s and 30s, and then transform into film footage of a child Josephine, 3 years old, running through a yard laughing, slowly morphing into colored photos of the young Josephine marrying in the 1940s. We see silent scenes of 1, wealth and privilege in China, and 2, joyful family scenes, picnics, etc.
Once upon a time, there lived a wise and wealthy, witty and lovely girl. She lived in a great mansion with her family and servants in a land called Shanghai, China, and she had everything her heart desired. Her days were full of school lessons and laughter, family and friends. One day, she met a young poet, and they got married. They lived together in a beautiful manner, with their every wish attended to. Now, Both of them were so smart, they were able to take a special exam and scored so highly that two prestigious colleges in a far-off land called the United States of America accepted them.
End montage. Mansion. Josephine's painting room, day. Young Josephine, Chinese, 20s, paints a picture of young Andrew, Chinese, 20s. It is the start of the picture on the easel in the present-day nursing home room. Young Andrew's brother, Chinese, runs in excitedly waving a newspaper.
You made it! Look! Your scores are in the newspaper!
What? Where? Where are the scores?
Look, I beat you. I'm ranked number 3 and you are number 11.
Out of all the tax takers in Shanghai, the family will be so proud.
Shanghai Immigration Office, day. Young Josephine and young Andrew speak with an immigration worker, Chinese, 40s.
I've approved your visas, but I want to be certain that these are the schools in America you wish to attend.
Yes, NYU and the University of Colorado.
But you are newlyweds, aren't you?
Yes.
You know those two schools are thousands of miles apart, right?
But they are both in America, right?
I would suggest you choose schools in the same city.
Young Josephine and young Andrew look at each other confused. Nursing home, dining hall, day. Celeste and older Josephine sip cups of tea.
We had no idea of the geography of the United States until then. So I chose Columbia and my husband NYU for his MBA. And we were so excited.
Begin montage. We close in on the photos again. We see shots of the wealthy cabins on the ship from China to the USA, humiliation in Ellis Island as the immigrants are loaded together and scrutinized, wealthy with poor together. But then shots of wealthy couples touring the USA and having fun.
Off to America they went. It was a real-life fairy tale, but as the happy couple lived and loved and learned in America, a storm was brewing back home in China. An old and bitter anger was rising, and a revolution would change the land forever and take away the girl's mansion, jewels, and riches. All that the girl loved in China would be borne away by this storm, and she would be left penniless and afraid, alone but for her now equally destitute young husband, in a strange new land with no friends, no other family, and no home to ever return to.
End montage. A darkened, stormy sky rolls across the screen, thunder rumbling in the background. Nursing home, dining hall, day. Celeste and older Josephine sip cups of tea.
What happened after the revolution in China?
Our parents told us not to come back, that everything was gone and we were in danger.
What about school?
My husband finished. He received his MBA from NYU. He got a job on the New York Stock Exchange.
Older Josephine smiles at the memory. Wall Street day. The hustle and bustle of Wall Street in the 1940s. Wall Street office day. Young Andrew enters the office of boss man, 40s, Caucasian, who sits at a large desk.
Andy, thank you for coming by. Please shut the door.
Young Andrew shuts the door.
Of course, sir. What is it?
Andy, we can't have you on the trading floor anymore.
Why not?
Andy, it's not me. I know you're great. It's the other fellows. They just don't want to see a Chinese on the trading floor. You understand, don't you?
Young Andrew thinks to himself, a long silence. Suddenly he draws himself upright.
I will clean out my desk today.
Andy,
Hereby tender my resignation.
Andy, don't be so proud. You and I both know how much you need this job, and you have a wife and a new baby to take care of. You know nobody but me would have hired a Chinese on Wall Street. You have to find another firm that will hire a Chinese broker.
Thank you for the opportunity you have given me. Goodbye.
Young Andrew walks out, back ramrod straight but tears in his eyes. Boss man starts to get up, then shrugs and falls back into a seat. Nursing home, dining hall day. Celeste and older Josephine look at the photos.
What about you? Did you finish school?
Oh, no. I found out I was going to have a baby. When you're pregnant, it is no trouble at all. I could still go to school. I thought once the baby came, I could leave him at home while I studied at school and come back at lunch to feed him. I did not understand babies, you see. In China, my mother had nurses to care for my sisters and I. When the baby came, I realized that wasn't going to work.
Older Josephine chuckles at her past naivety. Apartment, night. Young Josephine sits in the tiny tenement apartment trying to silence a wailing baby while young Andrew sits at the table.
Shh! What will we do now? How will we get food for the baby? How will we pay the rent? Shh, okay.
Americans hate the Chinese. We are not welcome here. I miss my brothers. I miss my family. I want to go home.
You know it is not possible. You know there is nothing to return to. The communists will arrest us. You'll never get to see your family, your brothers. Your family home is gone.
I must try. We must try. We must go.
You are not being reasonable.
Reasonable. Reasonable! I am not allowed to show my face on the trading floor because I am Chinese!
He jumps up from his chair and knocks it to the floor.
We are leaving, and if you choose not to come, I will take the boy with me. You will never see your son again.
A long silence.
Then take him. Take him back to China where he can be a little communist. But I will not go with you.
Young Andrew tries to speak, chokes, realizes she is right and begins to sob. She pauses and then moves over to comfort him. The baby screams.
Shh.
Begin montage. A montage of black and white photos of young Josephine and young Andrew's baby growing into a little boy.
From castle to tenement went the girl. Her husband found an administrative job, and she taught English to Chinese immigrant children and made paintings for wealthy people. They worked long hours to pay their rent and put food in their bellies and that of the little son they had, born in America. The little American son who she loved and vowed to build a home for and a future for.
End montage. Apartment night. Young Andrew, 30s, and the baby sleep while young Josephine, 30s, labors over a painting. Exhausted, she makes a misplaced brushstroke. She grits her teeth and starts over. Her finger seize up. Bent with early arthritis, she shakes as she takes up the brush again. Art store day. Art store owner, 30s, Caucasian, female, takes a finished painting from young Josephine and hands her an envelope.
These are just lovely, Josephine. We need more of these delightful painted plates. Can you double the order for next week?
Young Josephine smiles as she hides her arthritic fingers behind her.
Yes, of course.
Art store owner nods with satisfaction. Tenement Street, day. A group of 3 white boys, all 8, chase a Jewish boy, 8, who runs for his life. Walking down the street, young Josephine sees this.
Jew, Jew, ugly mole, stick your head in a garbage hole.
A young Jewish mother opens a door holding a broom, and Jewish boy runs inside. White boys are perturbed.
Dirty Jews.
Yeah.
The Jews killed the Jesus.
All 3 white boys throw rocks at the door. Tenement Street, later. White boys chase Josephine and Andrew's young son, now 8, who runs for his life.
Go back to China! Go back to China!
Young Josephine opens her door and young son runs inside. White boys throw rocks at the door. Young Josephine reacts with horror. Tenement Street, later. Young Josephine, with young son in tow, knocks on the door of Jewish mother. Jewish mother opens the door, her son by her side.
Hello. We are neighbors. I could not help but notice, but the same boys that were beating my son and yours. The Jewish and Chinese people, we don't beat each. Perhaps they'd be safer together?
There is strength in numbers. I think that's a very good idea.
She gently pushes Jewish boy out the door.
Lawrence, you go and play with this nice Chinese boy.
Young son and Jewish boy look at each other with suspicion. Tenement Street, later. Young son and Jewish boy happily play together. Young Josephine walks out, looks at them and smiles as she leaves. Apartment day. Young Josephine and young Andrew stand before young son, who is clearly upset.
But I don't want to move to New Jersey. I have friends here.
You will make new friends in New Jersey.
No, I won't. It's not fair.
Young Andrew slaps young son, silencing him. Apartment day. Young son cries as young Andrew and young Josephine pack up the apartment. Apartment day. Jewish boy watches as young Andrew, young Josephine, and young son drive away. Tenement Street, laundromat day. Two Chinese boys play outside. They go silent as a Jewish boy shyly approaches.
Hi, I'm Lawrence.
After a moment of hesitation, the two Chinese boys smile. Nursing home, dining hall day. Older Josephine and Celeste finish up their tea.
The years went by so fast, and my son got married and had children of his own. One became a doctor, which my husband had always wanted to be. And we saw him less and less, but we still love him. And we bought him a big home and everything else he desired.
Older Josephine remembers with pride. House, kitchen, day. Older Josephine and older Andrew speak on the phone with son, now an adult. The parents both share the phone receiver and are all smiles.
Hey, thanks for the down payment, Dad. It's your house, too. Anytime you want to visit, you can.
Older Josephine and older Andrew look at each other and smile. Hospital room, day. Older Andrew, now frail and ill, lies in a bed. Grandson 20s, half Chinese, half white, a preppy know-it-all, stands with a distraught older Josephine.
Sorry Dad couldn't make it, Grandma, but he's busy. You know how it is. I'm pretty busy myself now with my residency and all.
I think he would want to fight this. Can we not get him surgery to remove the tumor? I mean, why does he have to be in hospice?
Grandma, I'm a doctor. It's all about the QOL now. He's an old man. There's nothing more we can do.
I don't understand. What is a QOL?
Annoyed grandson looks at her and shakes his head. Black screen.
The woman's husband, that proud banker poet, who she loved so much, died, and while she grieved, her son took away her bank accounts and her house and moved her into a nursing home. Alone and afraid, the woman whose life had begun as a fairy tale had never been more sad or more afraid.
House, living room, day. Son and son's wife sit with the crying older Josephine at a table covered with papers.
I do not understand. Daddy left his estate to me. Why can't I probate it?
Mother, you aren't capable of handling your finances. They're too complicated. You need to sign over your accounts to me. Let us take care of everything.
I want to do it myself. I want to make some small gifts to my sisters back home.
You are causing a lot of trouble and being very selfish. Your sisters don't need any gifts. They're just trying to take advantage of you. Give me your checkbook so I can keep it safe.
No. Why? Your wife hates me. She just wants to take all of my things. Please, let me keep my checkbook.
You don't understand, Mother. It's too complicated for you.
He takes older Josephine's purse, removes the cash and a checkbook, and gives it to son's wife.
Now, are there any other bank accounts you know of?
Here, sign this paper.
Power of attorney. What is this?
Please stop wasting time with silly questions and just sign it. Your son and I are busy people and you're wasting our time. We're only trying to help you. Why do you want to second guess us?
Mother, just sign it. Sign it now. And we have some stock certificates you need to sign over to us too. Do you know if Dad had any other stocks?
Maybe I should ask her.
No! Don't ask anybody about this. It's shameful for you to keep refusing to cooperate with your son and daughter-in-law. Sign it! Dad would be so disappointed in you trying to keep his money for yourself and not taking care of your family. Now stop making trouble for everyone!
Ashamed, older Josephine averts her eyes. She picks up a pen. Nursing home, front desk area, day. Older Josephine approaches a bored front desk worker holding a sheaf of papers.
Excuse me, please?
Yeah, what is it?
I have some financial statements from my husband's probate, and I'm trying to access the accounts but my son will not permit me to have access. Could you help me to call the bank and ask about this? I'm not sure how to find the telephone numbers for all these banks. May I show you my papers?
Oh, hey, Grandma.
I think that's probably between you and your kid. You should probably just let him handle it. They've got the TV on in the rec room because it's Soap Sunday. Why don't you go watch TV?
Older Josephine pulls back the paper she'd been proffering, abject and broken. She shuffles away.
There was someone who cared, though. Someone who would appear like a fairy godmother and would try to help.
Nursing home, front desk area, day. Celeste presents her ID card to the bored front desk worker.
Hi, I'm Celeste, the social worker. I'm here to make my rounds.
The front desk worker waves her by, barely looking at the ID. Nursing home, hallway, day. Celeste walks past an open door and sees older Josephine sitting in the dark, alone on a bed. Celeste pauses, then knocks on the door jamb.
Hi there, I'm Celeste. Are you okay? Did your light bulb burn out?
Nursing home, day. Celeste and older Josephine pore over older Josephine's photo album.
Your story is incredible.
It is the opposite of a fairy tale, isn't it?
Doesn't have to be. Why don't we talk to someone about it?
Older Josephine suddenly stands.
I must go now. It's time for bed.
Of course. May I come by and see you again? Have some tea?
Yes, I would like that. Good night. I must go back to my room now.
Older Josephine exits the dining hall. A worried Celeste watches her go. Nursing home. Older Josephine's room, day. Celeste comes to older Josephine's door and sees her drawing with a pencil on a torn napkin.
Hello again.
Oh, hello, Celeste. It's so nice to see you.
What are you doing?
Oh, drawing. I used to be a very good artist once.
May I see? It's beautiful. Do you usually work with pencil?
No, I used to paint. This is all I have to work with now.
You know what? My daughter paints too. She has a lot of extra paper and paint brushes. I'll bring you some next week.
Oh, thank you. No, but no, I don't want to trouble you.
It's no trouble at all. It's my pleasure. You know, I thought I remembered seeing an easel here before. What happened to it?
My son and his wife took it away because they said I was bad.
Older Josephine looks down in shame. Celeste puts her hand on older Josephine's shoulder to comfort her. Nursing home. Front desk area, day. Older Josephine uses the phone at the front desk. The annoyed front desk worker motions her to hurry up the call.
Please, I'm so sorry to bother you.
Mother, I'm very busy. What do you want?
I was hoping you could take me to Daddy's grave. I haven't been a while to go at all, and I miss him.
Mother, it would be a 30-minute drive to get to you, and another 30 to get to the graveyard, and another 30 to bring you back. You're being completely selfish to ask that of me. Try to consider someone else beside yourself for a change. I don't have time for this. I have to go.
He hangs up, leaving only a dial tone.
Hello? Hello?
The front desk worker grabs the phone receiver, listens, and hangs it up.
Line's dead, honey. Why don't you go watch TV? I think they're showing some movies in the rec room. Okay?
Fighting tears, older Josephine walks away. Nursing home. Older Josephine's room, day. A livid son's wife storms into older Josephine's room and shuts the door behind her.
Have you been sneaking around and talking to some ambulance-chasing lawyer?
No!
You owe us everything. You better stop lying to us.
Please, I am not lying.
We just want you to be happy. What would make you happy?
Coming to live with you. It is so shameful to be in a home with these old and crazy people. I should be living with my son in the nice home we bought him.
Bought us? You didn't buy us anything. You're not welcome in our home. You'll never be welcome in our home.
Yes, we did buy your house. Why are you saying this? Why are you so angry?
My husband told me. I know you beat him when he was little.
Beat him? We never...
Begin flashback. Apartment, day. Young Andrew slaps young son as he cries about moving to New Jersey. And flashback. Nursing home. Older Josephine's room, day. Older Josephine shakes her head.
No, it wasn't like that.
You're a liar. You beat him, your own son. You tell layer upon layer of lies. You don't know what the truth is anymore.
We gave him everything. All the best what we had, we gave him and we gave you. Now you are taking everything from me.
Taking things from you? I don't want anything from you.
You have already taken everything from me and locked me up here. The most important thing in the world, and you have taken from me my son. He came from my own body, and you have taken him from me.
You're a liar. A liar! Say it! Admit you're a liar!
Older Josephine says nothing. Son's wife slaps her.
Say it! Say, I am a liar! Say it! I am a twisted old liar!
Older Josephine cries. Nursing home, dining hall, day. Celeste and older Josephine drink tea as older Josephine cries.
I did lie about something though. I did call a lawyer. I wanted to write a new will, and they found out somehow and made me promise not to. But I'm scared they will take everything from me. It's not right. Now they will not even allow me a phone in my room to call my sisters in China, even though my husband's estate has plenty of money. They say a phone is too expensive and I cannot speak to anyone. They will not even let me buy writing paper or postage stamps.
It's terrible. You are not selfish, bad, or inconsiderate, okay? What your son and his wife are doing, it is wrong. It's abuse. You know, we could write a report together, and I could look into this for you. If you'd like, that's my job, you know. I'll be beside you every step of the way.
A report? Would my son know I told you?
Well, yes, we would have to tell some other people.
No, please, you must not tell anyone. Promise me you will not tell anyone. This is a secret. We cannot tell anyone.
Okay, just think about it, won't you? There's nothing for you to be ashamed of. You've done nothing wrong.
I should not have said anything. I need to go back to my room. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Older Josephine gets up to exit. A worried Celeste watches her go. Nursing home, front desk area, day. Celeste speaks on the phone at the reception desk as the annoyed front desk worker looks on.
I apologize for bothering you at home, sir. I'm just a bit concerned about your mother, and I really
Leave my mother alone, or I'll call the Department of Social Services and file a complaint against you for harassment. Our family's affairs are none of your business.
He hangs up, leaving only a dial tone.
Hello? Sir? Hello?
She looks at the front desk worker who shakes her head. Celeste's home, kitchen, night. Celeste and her daughter sit at a table.
It's clear her heart is just broken, but what can I do? She refused to speak to anyone but me and tells me not to tell anyone. And her son is absolutely unwilling to open a dialogue.
It sounds like you're doing everything you can. I mean, I think it's actually a pretty big deal you got her to open up to you at all. You can't force her to accept help, right? You just have to wait until she's ready, if she ever is.
She's such a beautiful and smart woman. It's a shame to see her like this. I told you she was an artist, right?
Yeah, I totally forgot. You wanted some of my art supplies for her. Why don't we bring some paints and stuff to her tomorrow? You can introduce me.
That's a wonderful idea. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to convince her to relax. Let me get her some help.
Daughter nods. Celeste smiles at her own plan. Nursing home, hallway, day. Celeste and daughter, both carrying art supplies, walk up to older Josephine's door. The room is dark and empty. Celeste turns to a passing orderly.
Excuse me, we're here to visit Josephine.
We're getting the room ready for someone else.
Shocked, Celeste drops the art supplies as her knees start to buckle.
Whoa, easy.
But I just saw her the other day. She was fine.
I thought so too. You know what was real nice though? Her son and his wife actually visit her. They never visit. So that was lucky that they could see her, one last time, and right before it happened.
She just died in her sleep. It happens. You know, her son came back right away, and he and his wife cleaned out her room. They already sent the body to be cremated and sent the will to probate. You know, I wish all of our clients' families could be this fast and efficient.
Efficient? Or maybe greedy and in really bad taste.
I have to get going. Have a nice day.
The orderly walks off.
Are you all right? Listen, you couldn't help her. She had to admit she needed help and she needed to stand up to her son. You couldn't do that for her.
That's easy to say and hard to do. It was her son. She loved him. She wanted people to see her having a happy family, not a broken one.
Mom, she was being abused.
And she was ashamed. Just like victims of physical abuse or sexual abuse, it's hard for people to admit when a family member is hurting them, especially when that hurt is psychological and financial. They don't feel it rises to the level of abuse. I can't believe I never got a chance to give her those paints. She had to draw on napkins with an old pencil.
You tried. You did your best. You were a friend to her. She knew you cared, and that means something.
I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough.
Black screen. White text rolls up the screen, which the narrator reads.
Elder abuse is real. It is defined as intentional actions that cause harm or create a serious risk of harm, regardless of whether harm is intentional, to a vulnerable elder by a caregiver or other person who stands in a trust relationship to the elder. It includes taking away a person's control of his or her finances, emotional and psychological abuse, and neglect. Data suggests that female elders are abused at a higher rate than males. Elder abuse among Asian communities, in particular, is understudied and underreported. Abused elders of Asian descent, especially women, are frightened to come forward, not wanting to disrupt the family unit or bring shame to the family. To combat elder abuse, consider volunteering at a local nursing home. Teach others about what elder abuse is and how to recognize, prevent, and address it. Solutions can range from restraining orders, conservatorship, involvement of multiple agencies, and seeking family and community resources. If you or someone you know is being abused, please call for help. It is not your fault, and you are not alone.
Black screen. Logo. Elder abuse is a violation of human rights and a significant cause of illness, injury, loss of productivity, isolation, and despair by the World Health Organization. Text. New York Asian Women's Center Help. Hotline 1-888-888-7702. National Center on Elder Abuse Administration on Aging, www.ncea.aoa.gov. Next. This film was made in memory of Josephine Chuch Lu Yan, 1923 to 2013.
Introduce you to Jennifer, who wrote it. And I just wanted to say thank you to our remarkable cast who really brought it to life in like a very real way, and they were all crying. my husband, he went to Korea, and his grandmother was placed in a nursing home by her older son, who was running the family businesses. She was a very wealthy woman, and he placed her 4.5 hours away from any family member and left her there. And in Korea, it's different with the nursing homes. You only go to them if your family doesn't take care of you. And she had a son that was taking care of her, and the older son came in as head of the family, and he took her away, and she died of bed sores. And when my husband got there, he said she died of one that was the size of a baseball. So elder abuse is something that, like, we've all, Jennifer and I were talking about it, we've all experienced. And he lost the ability to walk as well. He lost control of the right side of his body. So he was aphased, and he couldn't get out of bed. So whatever happened to him was kind of like a giant secret, you know, which he would probably be horrified that I'm sharing, but he's passed now. So that was the only solution, really, to prevent non-care or abusive care, was to just be there every day. And some days I would go, and he would just hold my hand, and he would not let me leave. And I would stay there sometimes till 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they would let me because they knew that he was vulnerable and he felt better when I was there. But it definitely takes a toll. It takes a toll when you're a caretaker as much as when you're a patient.
It affects all of us. It affects all of us.
Yeah, it's kind of a cultural, it's an outgrowing of culture, of like our disconnected cultures, right? That we don't always want to get involved in somebody else's story, but then at a certain point we just have to step in because, like, their humanity and our humanity have to coexist. So you just try and take the best care you can, especially if you're a family member. But if you're not a family member and you see something going on, then it's almost imperative to say something. Although it's very common, as Phil's character, to react with, like, I'm gonna sue you, I'm gonna harass you, because, you know, the person that's in charge is being threatened and they don't want to be threatened.
You know, even though this is a very common problem, it's a very hard thing to share a personal story, and it's a very hard thing to go through. An amazing job, like, the actors are so good. But if the more that we put it out there, the more that we just open up and we just create a dialogue, then the more able we will be to combat it, and the more able people like Josephine will be to be able to say, hey, you know what, actually, Celeste, I do need help. Like, help me. Like, yeah.
And my mother worked in a hospital. She wasn't a caretaker or anything, but she if anybody that she knew was in the hospital, especially like somebody from our church or anything like that, she'd check on them, because she would have to do certain floors, and she'd check on them every day. It's like, oh, you know, what's going on? She would tell the other nurses, this is my friend, you know, do this, make sure he's not feeling. So it doesn't matter, like, you can already be there and just a little hint, oh, he needs to be changed, or, you know, because we know sometimes these nurses, they've got how many patients to take care of, and sometimes they're not paid and they're overworked, just like anything in our society, and they need help as well.